A terrible situation in Maryland where a 14-year-old freshman in high school says she was raped by a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old, both foreign nationals. The case received widespread coverage because of the illegal alien crime issue. But now Fox News has confirmed that the young girl may have consented to the sex. However, both suspects remain charged with felonies. It's impossible to determine a case like this on television. And because of the coverage, many Americans assume the two illegal alien men, 17 and 18, are guilty. Which may be true, but we will not know until the evidence is presented to a jury or the men plead guilty. Joining us now from Washington, Lisa Booth and Juan Williams. So, Juan, big story in the district where you live. What's your take on it right now?
Well, it's a horrific crime by any standard. I mean, this is unacceptable behavior by anybody. To me, it still is a major story because Donald Trump has made a major issue of immigration, especially illegal immigrants, and the associated crime with illegal immigrants.
All right, but
unfairly, I think, but that's what he's done.
Now are saying that the 14-year-old girl, and believe me, no 14-year-old girl or boy is able to consent to anything like this. All right, so let's just be real about it. But the law says that if it is consensual, the act, that the rape is not involved, and that's one of the charges against these two guys. So it gets to be very complicated, all right? But the story is explosive on a lot of different levels. And, you said, Juan, in your opening thing, it was a terrible crime.
Certainly was.
Yeah, but these guys aren't convicted of any crime yet. It's an allegation they're charged with. But you've already convicted them.
No, I've not. What I'm saying is that
it's
the act, to my mind, just as you said, Bill, for a 14-year-old girl in a bathroom in a high school with two men, to me that's horrific. I don't know about the crime and the charge specific, in terms of the court. But you asked me as a human being, as your friend, you asked me, hey, what do you think? Imagine if that was my child or my relative, I would be apoplectic.
So that's I think. Everyone watching agrees with that. No matter what the criminality is, this should never have happened, Lisa. 14-year-old in a freshman in a high school bathroom, and those guys bear some responsibility because you just don't do that when you're 17 and 18 to a 14-year-old. That doesn't happen in this country. Go.
Well, absolutely. And I think who cares who the president is? The alleged and possibility of a 14-year-old being raped matters, period. And the reality is we don't know if it's consensual. My understanding is there's information about a certain text message that went out, I believe, the day before. But a text message does not equal consent. We don't know what happened.
Fox News has confirmed, Doug McKelvey, all right, that there is conflicting evidence. It's all we can tell. All right, it's conflicting. It's not a slam dunk as most people thought it was last week. Go ahead, Lisa.
But in a court of law, a text message or any sort of exchange like that does not...
Again, we can't try it here.
Okay, but the point being, Bill, what is at issue here is the fact that we also have a commander of the Montgomery County Police Special Investigations Unit who has explicitly said that it was not consensual. We also have a police chief who said that the events were brutal.
The men remain in jail without bail.
Exactly. And we also have court documents that describe a pretty gruesome sequence of events. Again, we don't know if this is exactly what happened or not.
And this isn't the only thing in play. Now, Juan, has critical mass been reached in the criminal, illegal alien zone in this country? People said enough. We do not want this sanctuary cities. We don't want this stuff. And we got to clean it up. Has it been reached?
No, I don't think so. In fact, I think there's tremendous resistance in the sanctuary cities that you mentioned against efforts to defund them or punish them by withdrawing federal funds.
So you don't believe that the majority of Americans have had enough of illegal alien crime in this country? You don't believe
that? In fact, the statistics show that so-called sanctuary cities are safer than non-sanctuary cities. And don't forget, Bill, Rudy Giuliani, tough on crime, former mayor of New York, was the one who made New York City a sanctuary city, and it has had tremendous support from police chiefs around the country.
I think critical mass has been reached. What do you think, Lisa?
I think we're absolutely heading there, Bill. And I also think it's important what President Trump has said that he is going to do with the Voice Unit is give a voice to victims of illegal immigration, because I think this is something we haven't spent a lot of time. I know you have with Kate Steinle, but as far as widespread attention to the issue, it hasn't been given that much attention. And so I think with President Trump being the president, having talked, having elevated and given a voice to the victims of illegal immigration, these conversations and these incidents are going going to become more pertinent, and people are going to be paying closer attention to them.
I think that's one of the reasons that Donald Trump was elected president, was because of this issue. And I think with these crimes that we're seeing in Maryland, Long Island, in San Francisco,
I just worry about fear mongering and unfairly blanketing people who are just hardworking people.
But nobody has a right to come into this country illegally. Nobody has that right, Warren.
Okay.
And they are pouring in here, and we're going to stop it.